with the name of the episode being The Great Army, you realize that Vikings is going to get very violent very quickly. And really what Vikings Season 4 Episode 17 did, The Great Army, is it set up everything. So basically what happens this episode, in Kattegat, the brothers, all the brothers, Ivar, Sigrid, and of course Ube, discuss how they're going to amass a massive army to avenge their father and go back to England. One so large that it's never been even thought of possible for. Ube frees the girl he's into, Margatha. I think that's how you pronounce her name, and that really makes Lagertha mad, which is great because seeing the brothers versus Lagertha and Bjorn aspect of the show has been really sweet the last few weeks. Seeing that sort of grow, that disdain for each other. And it really came to a culmination in Ivar and Ube nearly killing Lagertha, which was a very tense scene. They set it up perfectly. And they probably would have killed Lagertha if Bjorn wouldn't have come in. But I'm glad that they're going to keep, of course, Lagertha alive and Catherine Winterick on screen because she's phenomenal. And I still think people are still upset about Ragnar's death. Like, it's going to be a very hard death to get over, so in the coming weeks it's smart that they're not killing her off yet, but it was nice to see that tension basically pushed to the limit in this episode. And later on in the episode, the brothers all discuss that their father's demise needs to come before, or their father's, avenging their father needs to come before avenging their mother. And I think this is a concept we'll see throughout the show because Ragnar is the person everybody's dropping everything to focus on because everybody wants to avenge him. He was the greatest hero to everybody. He was the father, of course, to all the brothers, and he was the wife to Lagertha, so they're all going to want to avenge him. Bjorn has a scene where actually he becomes unhinged with his with Siggy and with his family, and it's weird because we never see Bjorn like that, but I can understand why he would get unhinged, and it actually makes sense because, his mom's, under threat of being assassinated. He's always looking over his shoulder. And really there's a lot of pressure on him to avenge his father, but it was a cool scene to see because we hadn't seen Bjorn ever react like that. The coolest thing I think this episode was the dynamic explored between Floki and Ivar. The jokes they cracked, and whenever they came in the same room, it was hilarious, and it was awesome at the end of the episode too because Floki made Ivar a chariot, and we got to see him use it for the first time just in practice, and it was sort of a preview of what's to come with Ivar, being bloodthirsty, the bloodthirsty High King of the Vikings. Seeing him in his chariot racing for the first time was amazing, and I can't wait to see him on the battlefield hopefully next week. In England, we did get some new stuff. Judith basically goes to see her father and warns him about the retribution Ragnar's sons are going to bring on the kingdom, and that warns that he needs to, prepare. And there's also this family disconnect because they don't like Judith. They're very holy. Ayla is, and his whole family, and Judith's sort of this independent person, which would have been unheard of in Old England. So there was some of that dynamic between her and her family was very tense, and I actually kind of like it because Judith's one of the cool characters from England. Not every character, you can't connect to every character in England, but definitely her and Egbert are some of the cool characters out of England that you actually care for. Ayla's sort of just the guy you want to die, so it was nice to see her sort of get that depth this episode. Rollo goes away back to his king, and Gisela's mad, of course. And I'm just curious. I'm wondering, you guys can comment below, but do you think he will cross paths with his brothers whenever the invasion starts, or how do you think Rollo is going to get wrapped back into the plot? It was cool to see him raiding last week, but I don't quite know how he's going to get back into the plot, but I can't wait to see. And this episode, we also, some more notes to remember, Harold and Halfdan continue to plot their revenge on Lagertha and basically all the Lothbrooks, and their plan is they sucked in this new guy too who wanted to usurp his father, and they're sort of getting freaky because I have a feeling that when everybody goes away except Lagertha and them, they're going to try to besiege Kattegat, and there will be some conflict there. So really the tension is building between them and the Lothbrooks, but the Lothbrooks don't know it yet. So it would be cool to see them trying to backstab them. And Ube one of the coolest scenes of this episode was actually when Ube warned these newcomers about making fun of his brother, because we know how bad Ivar is, but here are these guys coming in basically saying, oh, he's just a cripple and all that, and he says, I wouldn't laugh at him, he's my brother and he could kill you. And it was one of those scenes, like, it was so heavy because Ivar could take out any of them. It was a really cool scene to see, and Ube defending his brother. I really like the dynamic developing between Ube and Ivar. I think it's one of the best on the show right now, and hopefully it will blossom into something sort of like Ragnar and Floki had for multiple seasons. At the end of the episode, we sort of have the cliffhanger. Astrid and Bjorn get together, but that wasn't much of a surprise, seeing how we had seen stuff such as Judith being with Egbert. But it'll be interesting to see if Lagertha figures out about that, what will happen. But this episode was phenomenal. I loved the Great Army. Overall, I loved the Floki and Ivar dynamic. The brothers' revenge plot. Ivar getting his cherry was amazing to see. And I really love this show right now because there's a constant power grab. If it's not Ivar and Ube trying to take the throne, it's going to be Harold and Halfdan. It's this big chain of revenge, and this big chain of people trying to betray each other, and everybody's looking over their shoulder, and it really makes the show tense and wonderful. So I'd have to give The Great Army Season 4, Episode 17 of Vikings an 8.5 out of 10. It was just an amazing episode. It set up so much for next week. I mean, I can't even imagine how amazing next week's going to be. But comment below what you thought of this episode. Did you like it? Do you like the build-up? Did you like seeing Ivar finally getting his chariot? Did you like seeing Bjorn come back so early? I guess that's the reason I can't rate this episode higher, because I was frustrated because I would rather seen some more of that Mediterranean action, but I do understand why they had to pause everything and sort of send everybody back to get revenge on Ayla and Egbert. But by the same token, it did frustrate me a little bit this episode that Bjorn's raids in the Mediterranean had to end so soon. But I understand why they did. But did that annoy you? What do you think of this episode? Remember to comment below. Remember to like and subscribe for more. I'd give this episode an 8.5. This has been Jonesy from Jonester TV signing off.